While Spio-Garbrah says President Akufo-Addo has missed the opportunity to form a bipartisan team to engage the IMF for a bailout. Dr. Spio-Garbrah says assembling economists across the political divide to secure a possible IMF deal will whip up the interest of many Ghanaians to throw their weight behind the government.
But IMF deals with governments mostly, and also deals with governments who are often at a terminal stage of cancer, stage 1, 2, 3. So when you are at that terminal stage, when you are going to doctors, you are going to have very serious surgery. So you hear words like Ghana will have a haircut, or financial institutions will take a haircut. I mean, these are all terminologies that...
What's your view on the suggestions that the current finance minister should not be leading the negotiation at the IMF, based on statement he has made?
First of all, it's a decision any government must make as to who leads a government delegation to the IMF. You see, when you are the Minister of Finance and you have to swallow whatever your pride is and go to the IMF, in most cases, it's often not in your own interest to lead the delegation to the IMF. So let's take an example from President Mahama's era. At that time, Mr. Setekwe was the Minister of Finance. And as I've just said to you, he already had experience working at the IMF. So unlike most Ghanaians, he had that experience. In spite of that, when Ghana had to go to the IMF under President Mahama invited the same Professor Butche that we've just talked about to lead the delegation to the IMF with Mr. Tekwe as a member. So that's a different approach, that we have to go to IMF anyway. We have a lot of very, experienced economists in the government of Ghana. You can actually produce a bipartisan team if you want the whole country to go along with you to the IMF. You, the government, can easily establish a bipartisan team. That is a team made up of members of the two political parties, just as we have in Parliament. We had the commission of the recent commission on censure, or committee on censure, which was formed by the two parties, and we had a joint chairmanship. It worked. So if you are going to IMF, you can also have a joint committee if you wish, and you can convince NDC to also bring some people, and then you go to IMF. So the whole country knows that we are, as a country, at the IMF, not MPP at the IMF.